A few basic balance exercises are a great way to improve your ski technique, especially if you struggle with stability on your skis. Classic arm and leg swing with a little hop at the end is a good place to start. This is a Dynadisc, and it's going to add instability under your foot, another good device to train with. Combining the two of those exercises is going to be a really good way to continue to improve the stability. As you skate from side to side, if you've got two discs, then you can sort of pause and gather yourself at the end of each stride just to challenge your balance. Make sure that you've got a good stable gliding ski. If you have mastered a single leg squat on regular ground, then doing this on a Dynadisc is going to add extra challenge to it. You can also stick one leg out to the side and try to challenge your range of motion. See if you get enough flexion in the knee and ankle to get down low. Just make sure to keep your knee tracking straight and not to bend too much at the waist, but to make sure the flexion comes from the knee and ankle. You can also drive one leg through as you stand on a disc on a step. Just focus on stability at the top of the stride. Some basic body weight exercises are a good opportunity to improve strength and stability. Lever push-ups, essentially you're just putting one arm out to the side. Medicine ball helps to provide a good object to stabilize with. A rolling push-up is essentially almost sort of like combining a plank with a push-up. You want to just keep yourself like a plank straight from ankles on through the shoulders. Good push-up form at the end of each roll. Stay nice and straight and stable the whole time. Spider-Man push-ups. Just drive your knee up to your elbow. Again, creating instability. Basic bridge. Lift one leg off the ground for added challenge, and then raise and lower yourself. You want a straight line right through your knees on through to your shoulders. Simple plank. Good form. You want to make sure we're nice and stable in the lower back. And you can see as you add instability by lifting the arms and legs up, then that's going to make it a little bit harder to maintain that stable position. If you've got a stretch band, then this can be a really good way to strengthen the muscles around your hips, add another challenge for stability. Side plank, keeping your hip nice up straight off the ground. Raising and lowering that hip or the leg will add extra challenge. Or this sort of thread the needle kind of movement. Again, we're trying to maintain a good stable position the whole time. Hamstring curls on a physio ball, driving the heels back towards the glutes. And again, we're continuing to drive the hips straight up into the air as we pull the heel back. One leg adds a greater challenge to it. You can do the same thing except from the front with a knee tuck, pulling the knees in under the chest. Doing it on one leg, again, is going to add a great stability challenge there, make it quite a bit harder. Stir, move your arms in an ABC or forward and back or side to side, however you want. We call these Russell push-ups. Right up on your forearms, extending onto your hands. The further back you slide your feet onto the ball, the easier it's going to get. Single leg squat can be done with a bench or a seat to assist you. And once you've mastered that, going down to full depth, good range of motion in the knee and ankle, and extending all the way through to the top. Single leg RDL, keeping your heel kicked up towards the ceiling. Once you've mastered that, doing it with a weight, keeping everything in line. This is a basic knee lift hanging from a bar. You can switch to a full leg lift. Once you've mastered that, knees to elbow is the next progression there. This is really incorporating some more challenge into the arms as well as the core. And then toes to bar, bringing you all the way up to touch the bar at the end. Another variation on this that's very difficult is the windshield wiper. A few strides of that. And this is just sort of another variation just with greater range of motion of the knees to elbow exercise. Again, really works on shoulder stability. This is a front lever swing. Most people are going to need to have a stretch band to assist with this. And then you can also use that band for assist with a pull-up if you're not able to do pull-ups without help. For suspension training, all you need is a strap or a band of some sort and a place to hang it. These exercises, again, are very stability focused, so if you tend to sag at the core, then you want to engage the glutes, keep the lower back nice and stable before you start the exercise, just like you would in a regular plank or any other thing. This is a Russell push-up like we did on the physio ball. Just want to keep yourself in a good extended position. Here is a knee tuck. Same thing, we want to stay nice and engaged in the glutes, keep our core nice and snug. You can add a push-up to this, do a push-up followed by a knee tuck. Again, this is quite a bit harder than doing it on a regular stable surface, so it's a good way to increase the challenge if some of those other exercises become a little too easy for you. Laying on your back, then stable from your hips on through your shoulders in a nice straight line. You can raise and lower one leg. Also can bring the heels in towards the glutes, just like we did with the hamstring curl on the physio ball. Keep your knees right in line with your shoulders. Drive the hips up towards the ceiling. Again, if you have a tendency to sort of sag, then you want to make sure to keep it nice and stable. This is a basic rollout, Superman style. Further forward you get, the more this is going to increase the load of the stabilizing muscles around your shoulders. You can also add a push-up to this, or an overhead tricep press. Starting on your knees is a good place to start with this. Again, we're always keeping a good stable position in the lower back and the hips. You start to feel a sagging in your lower back, then you want to make sure to correct that by engaging your glutes. Standing position is going to make this exercise harder. The standing inverted row is a pretty easy place to start. Once you feel pretty strong about that, then adding a one-arm version of this is going to be a little bit more challenging. It's going to require some more core stability as you let yourself go back. And then a harder version of this would be to do this laying on your back, going from your heels on straight through to your shoulders as you pull yourself up. And sort of a runner's lunge, then you can just sort of add this little movement just to sort of stabilize yourself, really working hard around the hips. Extending this up into a full lunge is a good way to continue to add strength and stability to this and challenge your range of motion as well. And like the exercise that we did on the stability ball, and this is going to be sort of like a balance and range of motion kind of challenge. Keep that knee tracking straight ahead. This is a reverse fly. Again, just working those small stabilizing muscles around your shoulders, muscles that are easy to sort of ignore in some of the other exercises we do. And a regular fly as well. Really put a lot of strain on your stabilizing muscles around your shoulders as you go forward, so you want to sort of be careful and make sure that you're not overextending yourself. If you have a stretch band, then you can do a different version of this exercise. Make sure that you're staying nice and stable at the hip and the core, and then you're just sort of driving your feet down towards the ground. Again, we need to straighten out the core, stay nice and stable, and we want to be pivoting from the ankles all the way through to the shoulder as we do this exercise on the side. Again, ankles to shoulder, and this time we're driving heels instead of toes down towards the ground.